Oh, this is annoying. Too many crickets. It's doing this again. Why it does this, I don't know. It happens sometimes anyway. Usually if I do that, it changes it. Okay, let's come back. There we go. Okay, good. All right, so crickets. Nothing wants to work properly here. Anyway, good morning, folks. Hang on, let's get that thing just... Come on, there we go. All right. All right, so I'm on my mobile phone now. I did tell some people it's going to go on my mobile, so welcome back. What a nightmare. What an absolute nightmare. This is a recurring problem I have with this cable provider, and I don't know what it is. So I'm talking to myself right now. I guess that's a sign of being insane. I'm not answering myself, so that means I'm not insane. Let me change this screen. Change to night owls. Where's the night owls at? There it is. All right, cool. So just me and one other person here at the moment. Anyway, so I'm on my mobile, and let's see how that's going. Looks like that's going a little bit better. Anyway, so it's an audience of one. That's interesting. So YouTube is obviously not pushing this out there to people. So yeah. Anyway, what a nightmare. The problem is that this thing is it will distort my stats, so I have to take out the restart. Otherwise, it's just a mess. Delete. Plus, it frustrates people who are trying to watch stuff. Okay. Anyway, thanks. So two people here. Well, so much for YouTube alerting people to me going live. Isn't that interesting? Anyway, I've got my glasses on so I can see the chat. Live chat. There we go. But nobody's chatting. There's two people here. So 4 people here now. Maybe someone will start chatting here soon. Anyway, there we go. Al Murray, thank you for chatting. Make me feel like I'm not alone. So, guys, here's the situation. My apologies for the night owls, but I'm going through the same crap I went through 2 years ago and a year before that and 2 years before that, where suddenly the network isn't working. I'm getting a gigabyte of download and I'm getting 1 megabyte or less of upload. Hey, mental chewing gum. So it's very frustrating, and I know the sound quality isn't great here on the mobile device. It is in here. The phone is fantastic when I'm outside, but in this room it doesn't work really great. So anyway, so my apologies. Very frustrating for me. But I went in, I've used 3 different speed checks. I got Xfinity, which is my provider speed check. I had to use the internet speed check in Google, and I used Ookla, which is pretty good. And I was getting 200 kilobytes per second upload while I'm getting download of 700 megabytes per second. Doesn't make any sense. So I've ordered a new Ethernet cable because I have a 50-foot Ethernet cable that runs from router to this, but that's not the problem. Remotely, I unplug my router, turn it back on, and I still got the same result. And this crap, it happens all the time. It's very frustrating. And their solution every time is to get a new router. And every time we get a new router, it works great for a while, and then we get to this stage eventually. So that's where we're at right now. We've gotten to the stage where, and I can't have this. I can't, so they're giving me an appointment. They're going to send someone out. Hopefully I have to pay for this crap. They come out on Monday, and they're going to check some things. But anyway, in the meantime, I bought a new cable. And it is jumpy. Shame that it's frustrating. Yeah, sorry about that, Mother Katie. But how is this one? How is this stream? Are you guys okay? Because I'm using this on the mobile telephone network. I'm not using my Wi-Fi. See, the computer is hooked up to an Ethernet cable to the router. Excuse me, my back is killing me. I got to crack it here. Give me a second, you guys. Oh, I had a disc that was jammed in there. So my PC is connected into the router. And somebody just subscribed. Thank you for that, Zelda. And this was in the Wi-Fi. And so they said, is it your device? And I said, no. I rebooted my computer, but local check it. So I did a test with Ethernet on the PC. I got 2 megabytes per second max. So I took the Wi-Fi, which is on here, and tested it. The download speed was over 200. They did that. They did that, Yanni. They did that, Yanni Blignot. They did that. That's not the problem. This happens periodically, and like I said, every time they give me this, and so I go through these nightmares and try to have broadcast, and people get buffered and they get pissed off at me, and then I lose my audience and people go away, and it's very frustrating. I pay $302 a month for this service, $302 a month. So anyway, and the earliest you can get somebody out here is going to be on Monday. That's a week away, so I'm going to have to deal with this shit for a week. It really sucks, and it's very frustrating. Not just to me, but to my audience, and so. In the meantime, I've ordered a new cable. Like I said, it's now Thursday. It'll come Saturday. So I'll plug that puppy Saturday and see if that helps. But this is a Ethernet cable that's rated for 40 megabytes per second, so for download, so that's going to be much better. So anyway, yeah, so yeah, so let me just check on something real quick. What I just ordered with that is interesting. So I'm having no problem downloading stuff on my computer. That's not even an issue. Not even an issue. Let me check what I just ordered. So 50-foot shield indoor heavy. Oh, 40 gigabytes. That's what they're not making. Yeah, 40 gigabytes is the. Is that right? Yeah, that's pretty fast. So that's going to be fast. Yeah, this one's fine. Yeah, but this is on the cell phone network. Yeah, so this is the cell phone network. So anyway, but yeah. So by the way, so I called my provider because it gives you a freaking AI internet thing, and it just keeps telling you the same thing, and nothing changed. So I called them, and I got a girl in the Philippines. She sounded very lovely, sounded very beautiful, very sexy. And I was very calm with her and talked to her for the better part of 45 minutes, almost an hour. She tried everything. She reset the router and the port from where she's at in the Philippines. She can do that. And then eventually she got to the point, and I explained to her. So we tried the phone, which is connected to the router by Wi-Fi, less than 2 megabytes per second upload. We checked the PC, which is on Ethernet connection, less than 2 megabytes per second. But then later on, it came back and said 36 megabytes per second. And then a minute later, it was back down to 6, and then down to 2. So I tried it in both devices, and I got the same results. So it's not a device issue, which means it's probably not my LAN cable. But this LAN cable I've had for, 15 years or so. So it wouldn't hurt to get a new one. So anyway, I hate Mad Max. Anyway, so it was just very incredibly frustrating, guys. I can't broadcast like this. I can't rely on this way of doing things. So I mean, every time it's just so annoying that stuff doesn't work. Stuff breaks. It isn't as reliable as it used to be. Every time you fix one thing, you got to deal with another problem. So this computer's been acting up. I think I finally fixed the computer. I'm not certain I fixed it, but I think I fixed it. Gosh, at my table, I thought there was something on it. It's a little scratch on my table. Anyway, so what are you going to do? Everyone's solution is always to replace things. We've had problems on the NHS for the whole day with PC program could not access patients' information. Wow. Yeah, but that's not my problem. If I run an internet speed test right now, I'll run the one from. So this said 622 downloads, supposed to be a gigabyte and 40 megabytes upload. Wow. Yeah, it isn't running at 40 megabytes. Okay, now it's doing a speed test. Oh, my back is still hurting. 456 downloads, supposed to be 900 to a gigabyte, and this says 18 megabytes of upload. Now it's down to 13. But when I went online with you guys, the thing was just skipping and breaking. I was losing frame. The frame loss was incredible. Frame rate was bad. So this says 11.3. Now I'm going to check it with Xfinity, which is my provider, and that usually says faster than the others, but tonight it's been saying slower. So their test is a lot slower too. So it's 945 megabytes per second is what they're saying, 912 from Pittsburgh. And then in a moment here, I'll do the upload speed. So it's so dependent on technology. And everybody wants to go to AI, 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 AI. I've been Windows 11. My PC is lost every time I need to roll back the updates. Oh, that's crazy. I haven't had that problem with my laptop. So this is telling me I'm getting 11 megabytes per second, which I'm not getting. When I go live, I'm getting frame rate losses. So hopefully now it's down to 9. Hopefully in the morning this will be resolved. But I think you made my house is wired incorrectly. If my house is wired incorrectly, it's the fault of the cable company, because about 7 years ago they came out here and went through my house and said, you got a problem here, you got a problem there, you got a problem here. And they rewired my house for no charge, which saved me $1,000. This is 10 megabytes. That one said 11. Let's see what this one says. Ookla. But it's just, I can't rely on this. You can't go live and then you're talking, suddenly you lose a connection, you piss people off. It just doesn't work like that. See, 6 people have already left this stream because they don't like it. So this is telling me 900 megabytes per second download, 920. Okay, that's good. This is going to a different location though. One went to Washington, D.C., one went to Pittsburgh. This one's going to Lancaster, Pennsylvania. It's telling me 38 megabytes per second. Now we're down 25, 22. It's slowing down. What's that? Starlink is not the answer. Yeah, Starlink isn't fast enough for me to do streaming. So this one says 20 megabytes, but this is all bullshit. None of them are actually working that fast. Anyway, I need a new Ethernet cable anyway at some point, so I'm getting a new one. But Ethernet is not the problem. Not the problem. And this is on top of earlier today, I tried to get VoiceStream, and with VoiceStream, They sent me a damn SIM card on the 1st of December for this lifetime guarantee of the price, and the SIM card never got out of Georgia. It was sitting in a post office somewhere, and so I wrote to my contact and I said, "What's going on with my SIM card?" So they canceled that order. Then they sent me a new SIM card, refunded the fee, gave me another one. They said that the lifetime thing is still in effect. And then I couldn't log into my account. And the lady said I could log into my account. So then I called them again. I said I can't log into my account. And then the other lady said, no, you can't log into your account until you have the phone number. Oh my God. I said, that's not what your website says. Anyway, so it's been one of those days, which is unfortunate because I accomplished an awful lot today. I got a lot done today. And then I run into all this crap. All this crap. So frustrating. But anyway, such is life. What are you going to do? Not much you can do about it except moan, and moaning won't really accomplish anything. That sucks. I mean, if I can't live stream, at least I can load videos. But they're not getting many views, so what's the point, right? No, not getting many views. Some are getting views, but most aren't. So anyway, all right. You have no sound. Well, I hope you have sound. What's up with that? Let me see if I've got sound. Let me try to watch this view on YouTube. Let's see if I get a sound here. Okay, so it's having a hard. Oh, I've got sound. Okay, it's having a hard. But it sounds like I'm in a tunnel. I've got sound. Yeah, so it sounds like I'm in a tunnel. But download isn't the problem, so. Anyway, so I can see it over here now. I can see the chat. It's on top chat. But it's also buffering now. Okay, there it goes. Anyway. What was the problem? Was on your side? What do you mean? You have sound. Okay, it was on your side for the sound. Okay. Yep. Okay. Sounds. Well, I don't know if the sound being perfect sounds to me like I'm in a tunnel. So, anyway, very frustrating, guys. We pay for a service. We should get a service. Anyway, so that's just a little frustrating. Same with just pretty much everything today. Things go to crap, and people don't fix them. They don't provide a service you pay for. So, pay way too much money for the service and for it to not work like this. So. And it's been working great for such a long time. I haven't had any problems with it for such a long time. And then suddenly this crap comes back again. Very frustrating. Anyway, yeah, so we covered earlier the U.S. seizing the tanker from Venezuela. Yeah, Mad Max, it's not a scam email. I've explained that situation many, many times to people. Let me explain to you what that is. That's a company that's trying to get you to apply for the green card lottery. That's not a scam. They're trying to, and they can do that. They can say they can offer, to help you prepare for the lottery and tell you what to do. I would stay away from it. You don't need the lottery. That's what that's all about. You're getting cold, El Marie. How are you getting cold? It's South Africa. It's summertime. Yeah, I saw the message you sent me, Mad Max, but I've warned people about that all the time. It's nothing to do with the refugee program. Just ignore it. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm getting this. Yeah, probably because you've been doing searches on the internet saying going to USA, refugee, this, and the other. And then Google tracks that, and then they send you ads that are tailored to you. Good morning. How's it going there, RBC? Quids is back. So yeah, people don't get the connection about between what you do on your phone and what you do on the internet with what gets tailored for you. I mean, these companies, these tech companies know who you are. They know who I am. They tailor things, So that's what's going on there. But if people are doing searches or visiting sites about immigration or about refugee status or going to America or about Trump, and of course YouTube, or not YouTube, but Google, whoever is going to feed you ads on that and send you stuff and emails on that. They're going to tailor it. The internet's getting cold, huh? The Curiosity Nugget says the same thing. Well, yeah, but we have anecdotal evidence that some people are leaving as late as the 17th. So my estimate was pretty close. But I still get attacked by the haters. Oh, he's wrong all the time. I'm not. I also didn't say those were firm dates. I said that's my expectation. I'm estimating. And that's because I didn't expect anybody to be working that week in the 15th. But if someone leaves on the 17th, that means there are people working the week of the 15th. So anyway, but we've got other problems with the refugee program now because some people are being told that if they don't go live with their family members, they can't come over, which is BS. Yeah, I don't know of anybody flying the 25th December, Mad Max. That doesn't make any sense at all. And I've not heard that from anybody. So I'll believe that when I see it. Because they'll arrive on the 26th and the NGOs aren't going to go picking people up at the airport on the 26th December. That's pretty far-fetched. That's pretty far-fetched. You've never seen my blue chair? It's always behind me. Maybe you see it's blue because I'm adjusting around. I'm sitting with the phone up like this. Well, I don't know what you got told, Curiosity Nuggets, but that makes sense. How many people did you see, Heinrich? I mean, how many? I mean, give me a figure. 50, 100, 200, 1,000? Okay. Hey, Charles Edward Cook, what's up, man? How you doing? So we're getting not bad for the mobile audience, starting to grow a little bit there. 65 people here. Okay, nice to see Chris found a way to stream again. No, it's not. It's not. It's Faithful Farmer. It's Xfinity that this happens every couple of years, and it just becomes such a major problem. Already bronze to lead his message. Why? No, my camera is sitting on the table, and I'm here like this, so that's how it should look. But I don't have anything here to hold this thing up. I'm on a little tiny tripod, so that's either books aren't wide enough for the tripod legs, so and it's not a stand. It's just it's one that you usually sit on a table. So anyway, that's why. 400 people. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, and not only whites, of course. My internet is crap. The download speed is fine. I'm getting a gigabyte per second, but I'm not getting upload. I'm getting 1 megabyte or less. $100,000. I want to. Yeah, that's funny. Was it Nigerian Prince? Oh, not too cold outside. Oh, Arnie Brandt says spelling mistake. It's all right, Arnie. I figured out. A lot of people aren't typing in their first language. So anyway, let me get this back here. So that's why it looks weird, because I've got it. So I saw up your nostrils for a second. That's why I commented. You saw up my nostrils. So why are you looking at my nostrils? That's very rude. Yes, Curiosity Nuggets, I have been spot on. Now I did misspeak something. I used a verb I did intend to use on the video when I talked about the employment authorization document. Professor G pointed out that I misspoke, and he was correct. I did misspeak, but I mean, the reason I misspoke is because the idiots that attacked me, and I remember earlier this year and I told people that you have to be here 12 months before you can apply for a green card for refugees, and I said that, and then that Shelley clown said that I was a liar and said that that's not true. You can apply for refugee status at any time. I mean, for green card anytime. And I said, that's not true. That's not what the law says. And I just got tired of people, attacking me when I had the proof. I said, fine, believe what you want to believe. So I just said, if you want to believe it's less than a year, you want to believe it's a year, fine. That's your prerogative. All I know is what the law says. And so with that in mind, when she attacked me and lied and she spread misinformation about the EAD, I said that you don't have to apply it 1 year. And I meant to say is that you're not going to get it in 1 year. So, oh, you like the haircut? Okay, cool. Oh, for your daughter's knee. Oh, I hope that goes pretty good. Hope that goes pretty good. So, yeah. Sorry about her knee and the injury, sports injury. But yeah, so what I meant to say in the video, and of course I was doing it 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, is I meant to say that you do have to apply for for permanent residency if you're a refugee, but you can't do it until 12 months, and you're not going to get your permanent residence right away, which is what I was getting at. My point with the whole story wasn't about the green card. My point about the story was that you have to apply for an EAD after you've already been there 18 months, and almost everybody that's going to be the case. Yeah, no, RBC, no. I mean, I'm telling you what the law says. Now, there are instances of the law that the government is just kind of ignoring and putting other policy out right now, and that's on them. But I'm telling you. So, for instance, I told you all what the law was back in February when this program was announced about food stamps, about Medicaid, about refugee cash assistance. All that stuff was true at the time. But truth changes, folks. Truth changes, and that's what this was all about. I did a video about how the policy has changed, not the law, but the policy, and it's very clear. It says it right there on USCIS website. I went to it. I read it very clearly. It affects South Africans. It affects every refugee and every asylum seeker and every TPS person from December 5th, 2025 onwards. If that's when you apply or that's when it's granted after December 4th afterwards, it will apply to you. Instead of a 5-year employment authorization document, you get 18 months. And I was correct in that. But then I did misspeak. I said, but it's not really important. The important part is I was correct and I got attacked and I was accused of misinformation by someone that is the master of misinformation. And Professor G came out and defended me, but he did disagree with me at one point, and he is correct. My statement was incorrect, but it was because I was addressing something else entirely, and I just misspoke. Anyway, yeah, so I am correct that you have to have it. Now, the question I didn't even address is, do you have to pay for it? And I said, I don't know. Professor G says, yep. If a refugee, you're probably going to have to pay for that when you have to renew it. And everyone's going to have to renew it at least once, because you cannot apply, as I said earlier this year, and then that clown attacked me, and I just got tired of arguing. The law says you have to wait 12 months continuously in the United States as a refugee before you can apply for a green card for permanent residency, and you must do it. So 1 year you apply for permanent residency, and you are not going to get your green card immediately. Professor G talked about it's an 8 to 22 month wait period normally. Yeah, that's normally. But guess what's going on right now? USCIS is reviewing 233,000 vetting cases, 233,000 refugee cases from when Biden let these refugees enforce. Every case is going to be reviewed. That's going to take millions of man hours. On top of that, they have to re-review every one of the 2.4 million asylum cases out there. So we're talking 2.6 million cases to be investigated. How many people have investigated these? 200 or 300? It's impossible. So with that in mind, if those are the same people or some of the people that have to adjudicate your cases for your employment authorization document, that's going to lead to a huge backlog. So my point was that I assume and I hope that that means if you have an EAD, you just have to apply at the right time after 12 months to get for the 18-month point. And then once you've applied, you'll be grandfathered so that you're okay until afterwards. I don't know that. That's an analysis. Everything I explained makes sense as far. Well, thank you. I don't like it when people make comments about you. It's nasty. Have I lost weight? I lost hair. Maybe that's what's going on. Was looking forever for this channel. Well, I'm sorry about that, Vilma. It's YouTube and my internet provider. Yeah, you guys understood my intent with the video. Yeah, but this clown attacked me. The hip is not bothering me. I've been taking the medicine today, and I took it yesterday. I did take it the day before, so I don't know. I mean, it's not perfect. It's going to have to be replaced at some point, but I'm not in pain. My left hip was bothering me for a couple of days, but there's no pain there now. I'm actually in no pain whatsoever. It's bothering me right now. My hips aren't bothering me right now. My stomach bothering me. I am famished, man. I'm getting hangry here. I'm getting hangry. So hungry. And it's after midnight, so probably not the best time to eat. But yeah, so I went and got a haircut today because on Friday I have a very important meeting and then I need to go to, and I need to look sharp. So it was time for a haircut, even though it's winter time. So I got a good haircut and I got a beard trim. So I don't know if I'm thrilled with the beard trim. It's not as good as, I thought it looked better before, but anyway. Yeah, hair carries a little bit of weight. No, I've not tried any walking at Mad Max. I'm just waiting until I'm pain-free for a while. Every time I make mistakes, which is human, there's nothing you can do. You're only streaming to us. You aren't the people doing the refugee stuff anyway. Yeah, Quids, but my I'm a perfectionist, and I don't like mistakes that shouldn't be made. It has nothing to do with the Starbucks. No, it has nothing to do with Starbucks. I haven't had Starbucks in ages, but that's your point, I think. No, I'm a perfectionist, and I don't. Historically, as an intelligence analyst, I have almost never been wrong. It's not a boast; it's a statement of fact. I've almost never been wrong in my analysis, and I've been bold in my analysis at times. I've made predictions that no one else was willing to make. I remember very clearly when I was division. With the 1st Armored Division, we were at a BCTP Battle Command Training Program exercise, which is mostly done in the computer, but you actually go out into maneuver spaces with the headquarters staff, and you're in the field with camouflage and tents and generators and guard duty and mobile kitchens and all that. So we were out as brigade headquarters, and the division was also out. And so I remember, I've told this story before, but probably not to this audience. And so what happened was I was a lieutenant, and I was doing a major's job. So that's lieutenant, captain, major, so 2 pay grades above me. And I was a first lieutenant and a new first lieutenant. So what happened was my boss had grown to trust me very well. In fact, he had people coming to interview for the job because it was a major's job, and there were captains who needed to get qualified intel time as an intelligence officer for unit. It's called an S2, Staff Intelligence. And 4 of them had come over, and they'd been sent from the division G2, which is general, the intelligence office at the general staff. And he had turned them all down. And finally, the G2's lieutenant colonel called my boss, who's a full colonel, Colonel Cook, and said, "Listen, sir, I keep sending you candidates. Are they not good enough?" And my boss told him, and there were people in the room who heard this, and said, "No, they're fine, but I don't need them." And the lieutenant colonel said, "Sir, why don't you need them? You don't have an S2." And to which my boss said, three different people told me this, said, and he told me well as well later on because I asked him, "I don't need anybody coming over here. I have the best I have the best S2 in the First Armor Division, in Lieutenant Wyatt." And I'm like, that's I found out. I was like, damn. Anyway, so we went to this BCTP, and it's played out in the computer. So we're an aviation brigade with Apache attack helicopters, 2 attack battalions, and we also have a cavalry squadron. And the cavalry squadron is, I'm noticing there's a slower delay here because I can't set it for ultra, this like I can the PC. So I'm looking over here on the screen, and I'm about 7 seconds behind when I'm talking. Anyway, so we go into what's called deep battle mode. So we're going after the division artillery group or the regimental artillery group or the corps artillery group, the DAG or the AG. And so we send helicopters out, and we do a suppression enemy air defense in which we do jamming, we do artillery on program spots where I put on the battlefield where their air defense should be, and then we fire artillery and we fire jamming missions out there so they can't lock on with radars and communicate. Anyway, so I had a pretty good track record, and for this exercise, we go for what's called the deep battle cell. We form up. The division artillery forms up. The Air Force coordinator comes. The aviation brigade S2 comes, and the intelligence people from the division all come there along with our commanders. And we all sit in the room along with the most senior division general officer, which is usually the 1-star or the commander, the 2-star. So we're sitting in this expando van with about 25 people piled in there, and the weather officer comes in and from the division, and we make this decision: are we going to do this attack? It's yes or no. Do we go or not go? It's like Eisenhower and D-Day. Do we go or not go? And so what happened was, that I don't know what clock you see behind me. I don't see any clock behind me. Anyway, so what happened was the G2 gets up and they kind of dance around. They tap dance. So like, well, this, that, and the other, and the Davarti commander and my boss are kind of looking at each other like, what are they saying? And then they got another officer from the G2 get up, and the same thing. And finally, the Davarti commander says, okay, enough. Is the 4th Brigade S2 here? And I was the 4th Brigade S2 as a lieutenant doing a major job in the back of the room. And what is this? Oh yeah, I am an old hand at problem solving. Anyway, so he said, is the 4th Brigade S2 here? And I said, yes, sir. I was back in the room. And the Davarti commander, Colonel Gingrich, I'll never forget his name. Colonel Gingrich says, "Why get up here and tell us what the hell's going to happen?" The G2 didn't like that. They were pissed off. They were angry because, and I have to be humble. So I get up there. I'm like, sir, what do you want me to tell you? Well, why tell us? Give us your view on what's going to happen. I said, well, sir, and I said at H minus at such and such hour, they'll be here. Now, based on the rate of march and the disbursement on this terrain, which we're familiar with, we anticipate that the Corps Artillery will be located here at 0400 in the morning, and at 0500, we'll expect to see the Regiment Artillery Groups here and the Division Artillery Groups there, the DAG and the REGs. And no, it wasn't a mistake. It was, it was because I misspoke. That's all. And I didn't realize I misspoke until after I did the video. I'm not going to tear it down for that and replace it and confuse people. Anyway, so thank you for that. So I explained what's happened, and they said, and they looked at me and they said, well, Lieutenant Wyatt and my boss too, do we go or not go? And I said, sir, if you're asking me, I said, we launch. Okay, so I was not popular with the G2 folks because it contradicted what they said. They had no idea what they were talking about, and I knew what I was talking about. So here's the thing, and this is where I was crestfallen. So it's a few hours later. It's time for this thing to happen. So we leave. We go back to our headquarters, and then we come back a few hours later for the launch of this mission. We all sit in the division, and I'm in there, and I'm talking to the G2 guys as the battle's being executed, and my boss comes in as it ended. And he says, Colonel Cook says, well, Chris, it was a short and sweet career, wasn't it? I said, sir. He said, well, I'm not sure what to do with you. I said, what do you mean? Well, we sent out 18 Apaches and 17 were shot down. I'm like, what? What? He said, well, you recommended we go. And we lost 17 of the 18 helicopters. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And he grabbed me by the shoulder. He goes, That's all right, Chris. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's a computer glitch. Don't worry about it. We're working on it. So they went back. They had one Soviet air defense system, a 2S6, which has rockets and AAA cannons on it. It's a very sophisticated system. And in less than 30 seconds, one air defense system shot down 17 helicopters that were spread out over. It's impossible. They couldn't have done it. So they went back and adjudicated and said, okay, first off, that system probably wouldn't have survived, but we're going to say it did, and we'll say it shot down 2 helicopters. So they adjudicated, and I had 2 helicopters shut down. So, so, oh my goodness, excuse me, excuse me. All right, so so I thought my career was over because I was bold, but it turns out that I was correct. It's just the no, my hair's not. It's just a phone. It's my phone. Things are backwards. So although they're not, for me, they're looking exactly the way I see them. So this is backwards to you though. That's over my left shoulder, but to you it looks over my right shoulder, and that's over the right looks over my left shoulder. So anyway, well the clock is over there, and it would be backwards anyway. So if I turn that way, see, you're going to see it backwards. That you really can't see anything there, can you? 024. That doesn't help. Anyway, Mad Max just sent me something on my phone. I can't do anything with that because I just have the one screen, but I can go over here, and it's John Kennedy on my PC. Let's see what he says. John Kennedy is U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer says administration is open to 1-year extension ago and views South Africa's unique case. He's hearing questions from John Kennedy. Okay, let's see what happens.
What are we going to do about South Africa as part of AGOA? Well, I mean, South Africa is clearly not America's friend.
That's correct. We've had some conversations with the South Africans when it comes to trade, and again, there are a lot of kind of foreign policy issues that I don't get into with South Africa. But when it comes to trade, they have a lot of barriers. Not just tariff, but non-tariff barriers.
Exactly, that's what I've been saying.
Etc. We've made clear to the South Africans that if they ever want to have a better tariff situation with us, they need to take care of these tariffs and non-tariff barriers. They're a real economy. They're a big economy, right? They have an industrial base. They have an agricultural base. They should be buying things from the United States.
But if you extend AGOA for 1 year without reforming it, that's going to benefit South Africa.
Yes.
Right?
I mean, it could. I would say we have a 30% reciprocal tariff on South Africa right now, which is much higher than the rest of the continent. So we're control for it a little bit. But I think South Africa is a unique case. I agree with you. If that's
and
important.
don't you think we ought to separate South Africa and AGOA?
I mean, I'm happy to consider that, right? I mean, Congress has come to me and said we want AGOA, and I think if we're going to have a giveaway, we need to figure out how to improve it.
Giveaway.
If you think that we should give South Africa different treatment, I'm open to that because I think they are a unique problem.
Well, they're a unique problem for America.
Correct.
I mean, they're not. They're our enemy right now.
Ooh.
I mean, they're buddies with all of our enemies, and they've been very critical of the United States.
That's exactly right, and that's why they're actually treated in a much different way. Most of the African continent, sub-Saharan Africa, has just a 10% tariff, and South Africa has a 30%.
Okay, well, I'm going to download that.
What are we going to do
Oops, hang on.
about?
Okay, stop. I'm going to download that, and I'm going to make a video off of that, which is pretty much going to confirm everything I've been telling people all along. So thank you for that, Mad Max. I appreciate that. Let me download that, and then I will see if I can download. Okay, that's good quality there. Save as Senator Kenny. Senator Kenny. Okay, so that's going to be fun to make when I'm done here. Whoa, my goodness, my nose is up close on that screen. Thank you for that, Mad Max. That's helpful. Okay. Yeah, screw the trolls. You're correct. Yeah, but the problem with the trolls is that, watching while working. The problem with the trolls is that people listen to them. I remember the people that were hoodwinked by Mr. Thondameva about give me money, I'll put you on a list, we'll get you over first. People believe that. People believe this Shelley lunatic People believe other people. You know, when the people with who were involved with Pet Lift initially called me a liar, including people who now want to curry favor from me. Not Morgan. Morgan was never like that. But some of the people now have their own opportunity. They besmirched me. They slandered me. They went all over the internet and lied about me and said I was lying about what it cost to bring pets to America. And then they want to be my friend. They want me to promote them. You know, they can go screw themselves. You know, after lying about me. I mean, I've not been abusive towards them, but I'm not going to promote them. I mean, that's nonsense. They slandered me and caused me all kinds of problems and cost me a lot of my audience. A lot of stupid people believe a lot of other stupid people and they aren't here anymore. So, yeah. Yep. What threw Denise off? You look for a way with new hair, do trimming in the beard. Okay. No, Mad Max. I haven't seen that video. And people have been asking me about the extension, whether saw that was in. I said, well, GOA is not coming. So Greer is saying that members of Congress are asking for GOA to come back, but they can ask all they want. Trump can veto it. So, you know, they need to keep that in mind. And, you know, basically what they're saying is that we're doing people a favor by having this program, which is true. And why should we do South Africa a favor? They're our enemy. Senator Kennedy says South Africa is our enemy. Yep. No, like I said, you know, when my hair is short and with this beard is gone, I look 10, 15 years younger than I am. Yep. Yep. So, anyone finished their medical on 9 December? That's an odd question. Why would you ask that question? Well, I agree. I think he doesn't pull any punches, Senator Kennedy. Yep. You have a lot on your plate, and you have to deal with fools and clowns. Perfectionists beat themselves up. Please don't. Oh, thank you for that, Lee. But I am a perfectionist. I like to get it right. I mean, the person who attacked me and said, when I said that this was my analysis about, you know, no flights between approximately the 15th of December to the 5th of January based on historical precedent, and I said that's probably the case. Someone said, oh, stop lying. You have sources that are telling you this. So, you know, I get people saying that you don't have any sources, you know, that you don't know what you're talking about. And then I do a video and I get, well, you have sources. These people are just, they're brain dead, you know. After midterms, the Dems will reinstate the GOA. You can bet on it. Well, they won't reinstate jack shit because, okay. First off, AI, good for now. First off, they'd have to control the House and Senate to put a GOA through, okay? And they could do that. But that's not going to happen. But let's say that happens. Then Trump will just veto it. Then they need 2/3 majority to overturn it. And there's no way that the Republicans are going to join them, give them 2/3 of the House and Senate to overturn it. You have to get 2/3. So in the House, 2/3 out of 435 is 0.66 divided by 435 is, that's not right. Huh? How do I do this? Oh, 0.66 times 435. That's what I need to do. What am I doing? So you need 287 members of the House. So that means that unless they have a major win and they go from 214, unless they're going to need a lot of Republicans. There aren't going to be enough Republicans in the House to pass this, even if the Democrats win the House. So it's dead on arrival. They aren't going to get the Senate back. They might get the House back, but I don't think that's impossible. And even if they do, they have to give it to Trump. In order to go to Trump and override his veto, they need 287 in the House and they need 66 in the Senate. That's not going to happen. In order to override his veto, it's not going to happen. So AGOA is not coming back unless Republicans sponsor it. No, why are you guys so obsessed with the funding? Stop obsessing with funding because the Congress isn't even dealing with the funding. They're not even taking the issue up until after the New Year. So I don't know why you guys are asking. They're going to recess in a matter of minutes here, and they're not even going to talk about the continuing resolution until the middle of January. That'll be the first time that the media picks up on it too. So stop obsessing about it because you're wasting your time. If there's news, I'll tell you about it. But in the meantime, I highly doubt there's going to be news. The rhinos will back them. There aren't enough rhinos to back them. AI, good for now. Who's this? Max gave me something else here. Misinformation is driven by people here in South Africa who are solidarity enough for we now see the king has joined them. Oh my God. Wow.
It's only driven from misinformation. It's only driven from the United States and people here in South Africa who are Solidarity and AfriForum in the lead. We see now the king of our temple has joined.
This is slander. She is dumber than a box of rocks. She's slandering people. I think they should take her to court. They need to prove the disinformation. They need to prove. She needs to prove that AfriForum and Solidarity spread misinformation. She has no proof of that. This is just people's claims. Yes, Charles, the trolls make money off of. Well, look at the Sunnyside Detective now, how she's running around telling people about things and making all kinds of. She's not making money yet, but her channel might make money. So she's not even up to 1,000 subscribers yet. Once she gets to the point she makes money, then. But I mean, she's desperate for attention and to mislead people. So yeah, I'm going to have to cover that. But that's got a Newsroom Africa stamp all over it. So I wonder if I can find that from the Government Information Agency. Yeah, Chris Hackney says this misinformation South as GDP was lower in 24 than in 2007. Yep. When to stop South Africa stop being a democratic side of the freedom of speech and freedom of belief. Yep. Yep. The problem is with the media spreading disinformation on behalf of the ANC. Crooks. Yep, exactly. Exactly. Yep, this is good. Yep. Yep. So anyway, yeah, she's a fool. You know, the Ramaphosa surrounds himself with dummies. What is that about BRICS? We should also consider BRICS nations like China will fill the go void. No, they won't. No, they won't. No, it won't. Okay, dude, come on. You don't know what you're talking about there. I'm sorry, I don't mean to bust you out, but China is not going to do anything. China offered duty-free access to all these African countries. But it's bullshit. They're not actually giving them duty-free access. It's a lie. There is no AGOA for Africa from China, and they're not going to give it. They're not going to give it. They're extracting things before they give up anything. The Chinese aren't stupid. We're the ones stupid. It's not going to happen. China just promised to help South Africa with HIV. And the South African press was all over it. Look at China. They're giving South Africa money for HIV. Screw these clowns. Do you know how much money? And what's somebody just subscribed? Doesn't show up here, but it shows up my streaming software. Zia just subscribed. Thank you for that. So China gave $3.49 million to fight HIV in South Africa over 2 years. We give $350 million a year. 100 times that amount in 1 year. So 200 times the amount they're going to give in 1 year, we give. That money will accomplish nothing, but they get all the press. Oh, look how wonderful they are. We gave South Africa $8.1 billion to fight HIV over 22 years. Yep. Yeah, China's not going to fill the void. China is going to exploit Africa because China is a mercantilist state. China is the Dutch East India Company of the 21st century. That's who they are. Oh, thank you, AI Good for Now. They made pledges. They made pledges 6 months ago. Show me the tangible benefits of that. That's like the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. Show me where the African Continental Free Trade Agreement has increased trade, intra-African trade. Please, somebody show me that. I covered that, and I said it's a nice piece of ink, but it means nothing. China made promises. They made pledges. Europe made pledges. What have they done? Nothing. Nothing. Guys, you can't fall for communist rhetoric. The Chinese made pledges. Yes, they're the Chinese promised generators because South Africa didn't have electricity. Where did they come? They aren't there. Rena Funstad, thank you for the 40 Rand. Appreciate that. A pledge is not money. That's right. So, for instance, the United States and the European Union pledged the just energy transition to give South Africa $10 billion or $11 billion, whatever it was. Yep. Guess who backed out of it? United States. We didn't deliver anything. Nothing. China pledged to reduce its carbon emissions, but it built 350 coal-fired power plants every year for a decade. 350 is more than the United States has total when they started that. Did you see the Afrikaans report where they say President Trump is like a child? No. Who wrote a report in Afrikaans? Please send me the link. Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to see that. That's something I'm not familiar with. 94 likes. Can we do a little bit better, folks? Here it tells me 21. I'm watching, so my thing is behind. 94. It doesn't up to 95. Just up because I just clicked it, updated by 1. Yep. So yeah. Anyway, so my internet is wonky. So I'm on my mobile phone on the mobile network. So Chinese made pledges because they wanted land to build their factories, and so far there are 2 big factories in Eastern Cape, and they're going to build car factories, and they're not going to give anything. So here's the thing. South Africa has quotas on U.S. automobile imports, not on China. So China's flooded the market, while American cars like Cadillac and Jeep are kept out of the country. And we give you duty-free access to our country. And this is the reward we get. Sounds like a New Year's resolution pledge. Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm gonna give up smoking for New Year's. January 10th. You got some fire, man? Yep. Well, Karen just happened on the stream. Cool. You were on my channel 10 minutes ago. This has been live for 45 minutes. So they were 10 minutes ago and it didn't show this is live. That's interesting. Shows you YouTube suppression, huh? No wonder people don't find my channel. Mine says live. I go to my channel, it says live. It says 153 watching. Yep, and that's what it actually is. But I mean, they're going to show me this stuff. They're not going to show you guys. So, yep. Anyway, who's looking at my nose? Yes, China owns Durban Harbor. Yep. ANC spokesman is a joke. She says the ANC government was corrupt. They wouldn't be poor. Well, Answeritz didn't tell me he's in New York, and I wrote to him. Oh, when did I write to Answeritz? Let me go here and look this up. I haven't heard from him. I sent him something a few days back. Let me see. ERNST. He hasn't even read the message I sent him on Tuesday. Maybe because of the States. Well, I don't know if he's read it because he doesn't let me blue tick, so maybe he did read it. Okay. Anyway. I don't think China's going to be able to surpass us. We shouldn't. No, the Chinese are in a lot of trouble. And we've been hearing this since 2010. China will surpass the U.S. 2015, 2018, 2020, 2021, 2024, 2025, 2030. China's not going to surpass us, particularly now that Trump has got $20 trillion of investment coming in the country. The United States is on the way back as long as we can keep the Democrats out of office. Hey, Andre, what's going on? Oh, the ANC said that. You said it was an Afrikaans. Well, I'm glad you found me, Helena Troy. Okay. Yeah, the haircut seems to be the China Schmina. The haircut's the hot topic. Yeah, people are liking the haircut apparently. So, and the beard trim. Nobody's mentioned the beard trim though. Yep. Overly Thinker says looking sharp. Well, thank you for that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah. So we lost a lot of time tonight on the stream, and then it just went dead on me. Hopefully the internet will come back in the morning, but can't expect that it will. So I've got that interview, and hopefully it won't screw up my interview because I can't do that on the phone very well. So I need the PC for that. Should South Africa qualify for GOA based on the human rights? No, it shouldn't. South Africa should not qualify for the very simple reason. AGOA requires that countries adhere to certain standards, one of which is respect for private property rights, which is part of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. South Africa, by introducing expropriation without compensation into the parliament in 2018, abrogated its role under AGOA and should have been kicked out of AGOA in 2018. And certainly when EWC passed, it should have been immediately suspended. Trump didn't suspend them. You know, they talk about U.S. is attacking South Africa, and it's all bullshit. If U.S. was attacking South Africa when Trump issued his executive order, or even before that, when Ramaphosa signed the Expropriation Without Compensation Act into law, fake signed it at Davos when he'd already signed it in December, they should have been immediately kicked out of AGOA. It should have been suspended. They're not even eligible for it. They're denying private property rights. That's ineligible. So South Africa was given a gift, and they stayed it until it expired on 30 September. Well, until the tariffs came into effect on 9 August, I should say. A meeting at the school. Thanks for all the insightful information. You're welcome, RBC. Have a good day. Be safe. In my opinion, there's no way China will surpass, especially with Trump as president. Oh, no, they're too far behind us right now. Their economy is 17 trillion. Ours is 30 trillion plus at this stage. So it's going to take a while. Although they've gone from 2 trillion in 2000 to 17 trillion now, which is pretty impressive. But that can't be sustained. And now that the world is realizing that they're waking up to the fact they're being bled dry by China, which has a $1 trillion trade surplus, the world is going to wake up and start stamping down that. Are you doing the live shows the whole, what's this? Why am I not seeing that over here? I saw it here. Andre Mostart. Oh, just wanted to know, are you doing live shows? Why would I not do them? I work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. whether I get paid or not. I live broadcast every day of the year unless I'm traveling. Even then I try. So Friday I'm traveling and I will be broadcasting from my mobile in a remote location. And I think you're going to find it interesting. I'll probably freeze my tail off because I'll be outside doing it. There's nowhere for me to do it inside. But yeah, Friday I will be broadcasting live. So, yep. Breaking news, ANC are corrupt. Yeah, it's not breaking news. I understand why the USA cut so many programs. USA debt is skyrocketing under Trump. Doge failed, high unemployment. Oh my gosh. Dude, you're just a troll. I didn't know you were a troll. I thought you were serious. USA debt is not skyrocketing. The deficit is being reduced under Trump from what it was under Trump and Biden. And high unemployment, the unemployment's 4%. What planet are you on? Extremely high cost of living? No. Cost of living was high under Biden. It's declining where I live. Yeah, tariffs are working wonderfully. These silly trolls, just spew nonsense. The guy is smoking his socks. He's busy, So let me explain what's happening there. You see, folks, when people Zol, they put the saliva on the Zol. And then they roll that Zol. And then they smoke it. Yeah, man. When they Zol. License plate registration. Hey, man, isn't it on the back of the car? You ask Rock. What did you ask Rock? What was the question you gave Grok? So, first off, anybody that trusts AI to answer subjective questions is smoking their socks. They're simply not honest when it comes to objective questions where you can pinpoint facts. That works, but a subjective question, you can't trust Grok. It's all programmed by leftists. You ask Grok. You can ask yourself, well, what is the question you ask Grok? Tell me the question you ask Grok. My goodness. Yeah. So the U.S. economy has 4.1% unemployment. Many states are below that, a few are above that. GDP growth is at 3% per annum. The prime lending rate just got dropped down from 4% to 3.75 or 3.5% in that range. We have more people working than the history of this country with 178 million people. I think it is currently 183 million people in the workforce. We have 7 to 13 million open jobs, depending on what you're looking at here. I don't understand it. Yes, we have a large deficit, but that's really not the issue. And the deficit isn't soaring. The deficit is being reduced. The tariffs have worked very well. Greenland is subtly in play. Denmark has committed almost $1 billion to policing Greenland's the Arctic Sea approaches. Panama has dropped the Chinese from the Canal Zone operations contract, and Colombia took their criminals back. That's the use of tariffs. Switzerland is now allowing U.S. exports to go into Switzerland, which were prohibited from going before for artificial barriers. And as a consequence, we lowered their tariff from 39 to 15% when they played ball. Tariffs are working very well. I'm not sure what planet this guy is on or what Grok is on. Your channel is being shadow banned. I've been online for over an hour and only saw you were live now when I visited your channel. Yes, I know, not a happy camper. That is shadow banning. Yep. I mean, I have an audience right now at this hour of 168. If I wasn't shadow banned, we'd have 1,000. Yep. Well, Arnie Brands, I said that for many years I said that this before the last 2 or 3 years, I said if I wasn't American, I want to be South African, but I don't really feel that way anymore. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. Wouldn't want to be Canadian. Wouldn't want to be Irish. Ireland is gone. Wouldn't want to be Norwegian. I wouldn't want to be Danish. Finland is pretty good, but it's pretty isolated, so I wouldn't want to be Finnish. I mean, no, Liechtenstein. That's pretty good. I get all the benefits of Switzerland, but I get to live in Liechtenstein. I love Liechtenstein. Yeah, so maybe Liechtenstein. Welcome back to this side of 60. Not a happy camper. Yeah. No, you're like the fourth person that's come in and said that they haven't seen my channel up yet. Yep. No, it's what they do. It's what they do. It's amazing. It's weird though, because sometimes, like when I'm doing live streams during the day on my mobile, they pick up crowds very quickly when it's my news time, which is interesting. You know, like I go to the work college, sometimes I get bigger. I wish this was true. It says I earn like a ridiculous amount of money, which I'm not earning. That's pretty funny. I'd love to see that money come my way. If I made that much, this thing is way off. If I made that much, I'd be rolling in the money. That would be huge, but I'm not making that kind of money. So anyway. Average video like this, 6 minutes. That's and 17 uploads per week. Subscribers rank 495 for 98,000. That isn't right. That's not right. When did that change? Oh, that's not. So let me go here. I'm going to view stats. Let me take something real quick. Hang on a second, folks. Hang on. Okay. All right. Hang on a second. That's not right. Okay, find my channel. There we go. All right. So I am ranked globally 2,186 in YouTube content creators. I'm the top 1%. And my views rank in the top 500,000. So, but it's a little bit behind. By the way, we hit 35 million views total on the channel recently. When is the Colonel doing some videos on ICE operations? Well, there are no ICE operations around here. The illegals aren't in my neighborhood. So, the local newspaper is very biased against Trump. I'm not surprised. All right, didn't get the call yet from ECR competition. Just the answer, huh? Ask Grok about Professor Richard Wolff's analysis of the U.S. economy. He says it looks grim. It's relying on overvalued stock. Okay, well, Grok. Okay, see, now you weren't honest before. You said you asked Grok. You didn't ask Grok. You asked Grok about a professor who's biased against Trump. Okay, let me go to Grok and we'll see. Okay, Grok. Let me go to Grok. That's image trader. I want to go to Grok. I don't want Grok image trader. I just want Grok. Okay. We go to Grok. Does it take me to? Oh, that's image trader. Why does it do this? It's not even loading. Grok image generator isn't even working. Let me just go to Grok. G-R-O-K. Okay, Grok. Okay, free AI assistant. Okay. What is the state of the U.S. economy today? This is what Grok. Okay, what is the state of the U.S. economy today? Going to Federal Reserve. Okay. As of December 11th, 2025, U.S. economy is experiencing a period of moderation followed by a volatile year marked by brief contraction in the first quarter, a robust rebound in the second quarter, and solid but uneven growth in the third quarter. Real GDP is estimated expanded at 3.5% annualized rate in the third quarter, driven by consumer spending and business investment. Although there were headwinds from 43-day prolonged federal shutdown that shaved off half percentage point of the quarter. The labor market shows signs of softening with unemployment at a 4-year high, 4%, but remains resilient with low layoff rates. Inflation has ticked up due to tariff effects, but remains contained about the 2% Fed target. Stock markets are near record highs, buoyed by AI-driven gains and recent rate cuts. Overall, the economy is growing at a sustainable but slowing pace. Yeah, so there you go. That's Grok. That's not what you just said. So I asked, I'll do Gemini. Okay, what is the state of the U.S. economy today? Okay, let's go to Gemini and see what they say. So you guys just believe any bullshit some people believe any bullshit you see online. Yeah, Gemini is a lot better, Max, even though it's run by Google. So it's taking a long time to answer this question. So yeah, the media also says narco-terrorists are fishing boats. Yeah, and they said Joe Biden was cognizant. Yeah. All right. Evaluating economic indicators. This is doing a much deeper dive than the other one did. Well, thank you there, Tic Tacs. Trying to look swag. Be sure to hit the like button, folks, if you haven't done it already. I'm using my mobile phone here in the middle of the night after my internet crapped out, and I contacted my provider and didn't get a solution. So, boy, it's taking a long time. Yeah. The problem with these AI generators is that they get overwhelmed. Okay. All right, so As of December 11, 2025, the U.S. economy is navigating a critical soft landing phase. The dominant narrative is one of resilient growth paired with gradual monetary easing, despite inflation remaining stickier than the Federal Reserve's 2% target. Just yesterday, the Federal Reserve concluded its final meeting with a significant move, the decision to cut the rate to 3.5, down 3.5 to 3.75. This marks the third consecutive rate cut. The outlook, Chairman Powell remains cautious while the easing cycle is underway. Estimates for the third quarter put GDP growth at 3.5% annually. Follows a strong second quarter, which is 3.8%. Inflation is just around 3%. Labor market's cooling but stable. Unemployment rate is at 4.4%, not 4.1. Job growth is moderated to 120,000 range per month. So, summary of the table, Fed funds rate cutting, that's good. GDP growth, they've got strong, expanding 3.5%. Inflation is 3%, so that's yellow. And unemployment is slowly rising. So, the economy is currently in a Goldilocks scenario, not too hot, not too cold. Yep, that's exactly what I'd say. Okay, there you go. So, that's from Gemini. So, I don't know, what care what Grok is saying. Ask about it. It's way more accurate. So why do I have to listen to Professor Richard Wolff? Who the hell is he? I'm an economist. Why do I listen to Professor Wolff? It's like listening to that idiot that reports in the New York Times, Paul Kruger. That guy's the dumbest economist on the planet, Paul Kruger. I'm not going to look up this guy. I mean, why would I look him up? I don't even trust him. I know macroeconomics. I don't need his help. CSI, Common Sense Intelligence. Thank you for that. Your sister believes Australia is the best option to move to. She obviously hasn't paid attention to Australia's fascism. Yep. Yeah, Australia was nice 15 years ago, but they went, well, the place is completely run by lunatics. They arrested people who simply were exercising their constitution, their guaranteed rights under Australian law in protesting. Yep. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. See, people hear what they want to hear. They want to hear. I said, why do I need to listen to him? And you turn into that. Yeah, Australia used to be nice. Yep. Yeah, I don't listen to leftists. They're wrong about everything under the sun. Everything under the sun. They're wrong about gender. They're wrong about race. They're wrong about religion. They're wrong about language. They're wrong about economics. They're wrong about politics. They're wrong about sex. They're wrong about everything on the planet. No, I don't listen to leftists. They really have been proven wrong over and over again throughout my life. Hey, Shawnee, you found me. Good to see you there. You're up. Well, it's not that late. You're 2 hours behind. You're an hour behind me, excuse me. So it is a little bit late for you, Shawnee. Yep. Anyway, excuse me. Oh, crazy stuff. The internet tonight. That's not a weird camera angle. I'm on my mobile phone, Crypto New. You just tuned in. I'm not on my computer because the internet's not working. Let me see if it's still cocking up here. Hang on a second here. I have it over here. Let me see. Maybe I have it over here. Nope, not there. Here we go. I can trust it over here. Let me do a speed test. Okay, see what's going on. All right. My internet just is not doing any upload speed. It was down. Okay, now it says 18, 20, 30. But when I tried to go live a little while ago, it just wasn't working. So they try to tell me it's the wiring in my house. It's the frickin' the substation here. That's the problem. Now I got 39 megabytes per second. 39.4. Let me try it with Ookla. So I'm trying with different testing, and they go different places. Ookla is the closest in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and so it's usually the fastest and has the least latency. So that has 37 milliseconds for the ping, 47 latency. That's a little bit high. 930 megabytes per second downloading right now, which is good. The upload is the question, though. Upload, here we go. 36, 28, 33. So that's looking pretty good, too. And then I'll try the Xfinity test. I saw some badge opens, Paul. I didn't know it was from you. I saw some. Let me see if I can find them. Maybe someone else sent me. It might be someone else. Okay, so that says 41 megabytes per second, which is faster than I paid for. So let me reload this one. This one said 10 last time, but then I went live and it just crapped out again. So hopefully this is an anomaly. So, but they're going to come look at my internet connection on Monday. Hopefully they won't charge me for it. 925, 947, 941, 935. Okay. But it's the upload that matters. This download doesn't matter. I mean, I can download, sit here and watch video all night long. It's not the issue. Okay, upload. Oh, see, whatever the problem was is gone now. Now I'm getting 28 megabytes per second. See, this crap happens all the time, and when I contact them and suddenly they fix it, they tell us it's my fault. Yeah, back to midterms. Current polls showing Dems overperforming in red districts. I'm impartial when it comes to spot. No, that's fine. AI, good for now. Yeah, you're correct. That is something that Grok never came back. That is something that polls are telling us, but polls are bullshit. Um, so the only thing first off, they said that the Democrats were going to win in Kentucky. That was a landslide. That was a landslide. She got creamed in Kentucky, not even close. Um, or is it Tennessee? Or whatever. Nashville, Tennessee. It was in Tennessee. We just had this by-election essentially. And yeah, see George Clooney, see guys. And so that was bullshit. Now they try to turn Virginia, which is more Democrat than is Republican, New Jersey, which is Democrat, and New York City, which is wildly Democrat, and say, "Oh look, they won. It's all going wrong." They're just trying to create a narrative, like they did in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Oh, people are upset with Trump. That's bullshit. It's bullshit. I've been in like 8 different states in the past 3 months, and I've never had a conversation with anybody. And I talk to people all over the place. I talk to people who are mopping floors in hotels. I talk to the people in the kitchen staff in hotels. I talk to people at the desk. I talk to restaurants. I talk to retail people. I talk to people in national parks. I talk to people all over the country, everywhere, all the time. And not one person. Now I've run into some leftists that hate Trump, but not one person was whining about inflation or complaining about inflation. I mean, that's something that's pretty much died, except the media's keeping it alive and blaming it on the tariffs, which is insane. How do you account for a 2.9% inflation rate when Trump has put tariffs in excess of 30% or at least 10% on everything? It doesn't match. Obviously, people are eating the cost, the producers and suppliers. So look, I mean, people can say what they want to say, and people are going to vote the way they want to vote. But I don't trust polls for a second. If I believe the polls, then Kamala Harris was going to win the race. Remember that? Yeah. Was interested in New Zealand, UK. There was a test case, me being able to get UK, only ancestral, but now seems must be born. Okay. Well, then you missed out, Karen. Sorry about that. But the UK is not the best place to be. So, but I mean, if you want to get out, I get it. Must pray for me. She's going through. We know I'm aware of that, Mad Max. She's been quiet for a couple of days. Yeah. So, yeah. Thoughts and prayers for her. Hey, CB, what's going on? How you doing? Anyway, yeah. So I want to thank you all for tuning in on this one because a lot of people said they couldn't find me. They were online for an hour. Didn't even know I was here. Yep. That's YouTube. That's YouTube. So anyway. Notification stumbled. Yep. See, there's like the 5th person said that. Anyway, well, please watch my video about the ship season. I've lost 1 subscriber on the video I did for the update. That doesn't make any sense. This is clearly hiding my content. 1,400 views. Man, crazy stuff. If I'm using what? If you're using version as an ISP, they're having upload speed around download speed, but good uploads. I have no idea what you're saying, Clinton. Version what? Version what? Oh, Verizon. No, I'm not using Verizon. I use Xfinity. No. Yeah, it's not Verizon. I think you're trying to say Verizon. Thank you, Clinton. No, I'm not using Verizon. I use Xfinity. Mad Max is enjoying this stream without my ability to put content and things onto the screen. That's my highlighter zipping by there. Only saw live through Hendo and WhatsApp. See, if it wasn't for Hendo and a few people just going and looking for me, you wouldn't even know I'm here. See, guys, so it's real. You can see it. You can see it's real. The shadow banning is real. It's not bullshit. It's not, woe is me. It's true. And even though I've had a good month, this past 2 months or so, it's only because of incessant publication of things and dedicated viewers. It's not new viewers. No, the go of it will be, as soon as I'm done, I'll make the video. I'm not going to bed until I make that video because that's important to do. Yep. So, but anyway. Yep. Crypto Noob just happened to find it. I feel that to free the West, we must first restore America to its former glory. 100% on that. Trump is doing a great job. That Trump and Vance spoke out against mass migration in Europe. Good for them. Yep. Yep. Trump also gave USA a bonus Christmas gift, a tanker full of oil. Yeah, but that's crappy oil. We don't need that oil, Anton. That is Venezuelan oil. That's like sludge. That's the sludge. They can keep it. Must thank you, Colonel, for all the information. You must have a wonderful night. Well, thank you, Charles Edward Cook. You be well. But I will be doing a video. Please look for the video. It'll be up within 30 minutes after I finish because I already know what I'm going to say. It's stuff I've said before, and I'm just going to give some analysis and context and show that video. And please watch it and drive it so that the algorithm catches it and starts sharing with people. Anyway, all right. Yeah, you caught it live, Blood Cup, but not for long. You can go back and watch them from the beginning. This is all on my mobile phone. So apparently the talk of the night is my haircut and my beard trim. So although it looks like it's a little thin here, look at that. It looks a little thin on that side. So anyway, yeah, yep. So anyway, you're welcome, Charles. It's my pleasure. Do my best. But everything looks backwards on here because it's true reflection of what's behind me, and so it looks backwards. The rugby balls are actually over my left shoulder. That's my left shoulder, but it looks like the right shoulder for you guys. To me, it looks left. This is my right shoulder, but to you, it looks left. So it's all backwards. So, okay. What is that? I wouldn't want to live in New Zealand or UK now, but with a UK passport is possible. Yeah, no, I got you. And with a UK passport, you can go live anywhere in the Commonwealth. Yeah, you could go to the Bahamas if you want. That'd be a lot better, although a lot of murders there when I went to YouTube. See, Chantel? See, that's another person. Yep. What's transformation? My screen? Yep. All right. Thanks for always taking the time to something with your super chats. Well, Mad Max, I'm very grateful you do this because you're usually watching the news while I'm trying to present the news, and we get breaking news, and I appreciate that. You're very helpful. You're a great moderator, and I appreciate 35 Rand super chat. I mean, a couple million more of those, and I'll be able to buy a case of Frappuccinos. Yes, Anton Mulder, I look much older. And imagine if the beard goes. When the beard is gone, picture me without a beard. See, I told you guys the hair is darker. See that? It's darker when you cut it. So anyway, people don't believe me. It's true. And if I get, self-conscious and start dyeing my hair blonde like Trump, imagine that then, man. Imagine how young I'll look then. Yep. Somebody said it looks like I'm losing weight. That's news to me. I didn't know I was losing weight. I wish I was losing weight. I'm not chubby, but I'd like to be rail thin with my ribs exposed like they've always been for most of my life. Yep. Blood Cup was teasing. No, I got you, man. Mandy von Ryan's laughing now. Yeah, no, that's what I tell people when I have short hair and I have no beard. I look very young. Well, mustache looks a little scraggly here. She did a trim job. I don't think she did the best trim job on the mustache. Looks kind of rough there. Anyway. Oh, you thought it was a rerun? No, it's not a rerun. This isn't what happened. This isn't what's happening. Yeah. Anyway, it looks like my internet is working again on my computer, but I went ahead and bought a new Ethernet cable just the same, a 40 gigabyte new one, because the one I have is very old. Ooh, okay, I got paid. Yay, I got paid. So they just deposited the money from October in my account. It's not a lot, but it's something. So now I need to go put some of that in savings. Yep. Let me take care of that right now. Okay. So I gotta go here. Hang on a second. So I just got paid, and the first thing I'm doing is paying myself. So I'm going into my bank account. Come on. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to transfer money that I just got paid directly into my savings account. So transfers. Make a transfer internally in this bank from that account to this account. Okay. And hang on. Okay. There we go. One-time transfer. Review. Submit. Take a screen capture. Save that rather than print out a copy. Okay, there we go. Save. Now let's see if my computer's working properly. E. Okay, that's doesn't quite. Oh, there it goes. Good. All right, it's working. Good. Saved it there. That's done. Done. Now I'll go back and look at my account because it's instantaneous. In my account, that money is there. Cool beans. Cool beans. And yeah, so cool. Cool beans. That's good to see. All right. Good to know. Now, when I get my YouTube money on the 21st, I'll spend a bunch of that on taxes. My goodness. 12 years, yeah, exactly. Yeah, people need to share the videos, but some people gotta be careful. You go on Facebook and share it, they start punishing you for that. Yeah. Anyway, so that takes care of that. I just got paid, but that's from October. Now I got cheated because I would have made twice as much money in November for 2 weeks. So I lost out on some serious cash there because of the shutdown. So that money's gone. I'll never get that back. It's unfortunate. Such is life, though. I'll survive, right? I went and answered a bunch of emails earlier this evening. Oh, there's the child in the Oval Office. Okay. But that's on Netwerk 24. The problem is that's behind a firewall. So, or a paywall. Yeah, I can't see that. Okay. So, Ramaphosa and Lamola are hot full of the Kint in the Oval Office. Well, the Kint is there. They're idiots. So, that's the newspaper saying that, unless they quoted them as, I'm lucky not getting shadow banned. Your notification shows for every video from me. Thank goodness I can keep up to date. Well, I'm glad, Werner, but you're one of the few people. You're one of the few people. Hey, JJ Pretorius, I'm okay. Just frustrated with my internet. That's why I'm on my mobile device right now. Yeah, no, Quids. Mad Max is fantastic, and I've met Mad Max in person. Nice guy. Not as handsome as I am, but he's a nice guy. Yeah, I know, Karen. I would look a lot younger without the facial hair. 1 440's off. Okay, well, have a good day. Yep, so I got paid. Hang on a second. I need to tell somebody that. Uh, actually, where's the second here? Let me find him. Okay. Okay. Sorry, guys. Okay, I said let the guy who's my intermediary with the company know that I got paid because he asked, find out if people got paid. See, I just got paid for October tonight. 2 months after I do the work. So, U.S. government. What do you want? What do you want? Beats earbuds. What's this? Fit earbuds. Those look cool. How much are these? $200. Bite me. You're not getting that money from me. Sorry, I got Amazon up here in this other window. So, anyway. Yeah, I do walk, but now with the hip, who knows? But I still walk faster than most people with a hip. Loretta says the colonel's extremely handsome. Well, I have noticed a devastatingly handsome white man in Africa. You guys know that, right? Throughout Africa, I have noticed a devastatingly handsome white man. If I had been sent to find Livingston, I'd have said, Mr. Livingston, I presume, and he would have said, Colonel Wyatt, the dead, sexy, devastating, handsome white man. Do you know that the Shona told me all about you? They said you were coming. I would have met him at Vic Falls. Mr. Livingston, I presume. Yeah, Dylan, it's always nice to get money that you're owed from a long time ago. But you see what I did with that, folks? Do you see what I did with that money? The first thing I did is I put money. And so the amount of money, let me do the math on what I just paid myself from that money, okay? So, divided by... I just paid myself 8.2%. I took 8.2% of the money that came in. It was beyond a certain amount, and I put that straight into a savings account for an investment. And I'll transfer that into an investment here shortly. So just like that, pay yourself first. It's a very responsible way. You pay your bills, meet your obligations, which are already met for this month. So this is gravy, and I put money in my savings, just like that. Now I would put all that money into savings investments, except I got to pay taxes. Taxes are a biatch. That's right. I got to pay taxes. And I've already paid more taxes than I even want to admit this year. I don't know if I paid enough. I'm overpaying, and last year I overpaid by a wild amount, but I need that money to pay for the travel bills to go to South Africa when I went. So I got that money in June, and it paid for my travel. Yeah, so, yep. Anyway. Yeah, Martin Fundamental. I've been back for an hour and 20 minutes, man. Oh, who's leaving for Brandy and Coke? Jufru Corey. I have no idea what that is, man, but it looks like, is that Jungfrau Corey? Is that Virgin Corey? Sorry, I don't mean to embarrass you, but that's what I interpret from that. I infer from that. Jufru Corey. To me, it looks like Jungfrau. Son-in-law, when his facial hair is cut, we have a baby face. So cute. Yep, he has a baby face. Loretta's learning a lot from me. I'm glad you're learning a lot from me, Loretta. That's kind of the idea. We all learn and get something out of it. Teacher. Who's a teacher? Anyway, man, I am still hungry. That hasn't gone away. Franz Carnier suggests the U.S. could sanction South Africa. Yeah. I suggest that too, man. I've said that for some time, but it hasn't happened so far. Do they fill the planes with refugees? No. Okay, first off, okay, so that's a fair question, but they're not their planes. They're buying commercial airline tickets, which is the way it's normally done to bring refugees to the country. We don't do charter flights. Normally, we don't. Must start super chatting and PayPal instead of the way. Oh, no, I make a lot more money, Quids. And yeah, super PayPal. Please do that. Please give it a try right now. Send $10,000. Somebody says, Jungfrau could mean a young lady. Okay. Well, so it's similar to German, except Jungfrau. A Jungfrau is a young lady, but that's we don't say that in German. We say Mädchen for a young girl. Jungfrau technically is a virgin. That's just how it's applied in German. It means a virgin. What is it? What is that from the Dragnet movie? The Virgin Connie Swale. Wasn't that her name? Was it the Virgin Connie? It was hilarious. Dragnet, the Virgin. Let me see if I can get that. Dragnet, the Virgin. Yeah, Connie Swale. That in the 1987 Dragnet movie refers to Connie Swale, played by Alexander Paul, a pure young woman targeted by the satanic cult pagan, people against goodness and normalcy for a ritual sacrifice. The Virgin Connie Swale. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, thank you. I don't know how you get teacher from that. Lehrer is teacher in German. It's obviously not the same root. Drink whiskey, it makes person strong. Few people know this, but the Colonel has met the Crypto Noob as well. Yes, I have, Crypto Noob. I have indeed. Hi, Chris. So the great Anti-Apartheid Liberation Party of the NCA have reinstated apartheid race classification. I'm with you, Craig Douglas. I'm with you 100%. I'm with you 100%. So they want to implement, Al-Jamaa wants to implement a law against apartheid. Well, they can go after the ANC. There will be no double taps in drug boats. Drug boats didn't do double taps in U.S. citizens. Well, there is no double tap, Buster, because a double tap is not what happened there. Oh, my word. No, not on 57. What's that? What's your take? Intersection oil tanker ship. You think they'll intersect? You mean the interception? I think there'll be more. Yep. But it's not because of Venezuela. Although that was probably a bonus. And why they were emboldened to do it. It's because the guy, it belongs to a Russian and it's a sanctioned ship, and they got it. A virgin of Benoni is someone that can run faster than a brother. don't you mean Brock Penn? Actually, you could send $1 million max on PayPal. Used to stream games and had PayPal account, was making money from streams through PayPal. Yeah, I'm looking at maybe going to Twitch and see what's going on Twitch. Just a name, make us strangers. We're speaking since February. Just Corey, right? Yeah, no, Corey, I know. I'm just saying that the username, it looks like it says Jungfrau. So. Vanessa Blossom, what's going on? Anyway, so yeah, we've got 189 likes, 193 people here. The audience has grown, but now it's getting a bit later, and it's 8:48, nearly 9 o'clock in South Africa. Yeah, and I'll be recording a video. I ask you all to please go watch it after this about the Senator Kennedy thing. Independent media wants Google bucks without press council oversight. Yep. What's this? NVIDIA. Let me find it. Independent media has launched an appeal against the final report of the media and digital platforms marketing by arguing that the competition can be unlawfully excluded from press access. Huh. I don't know about that, but we'll see. We'll see. Anyway. Let me try to see if this is still working for the speed. It's at 39 megabytes last time I looked. Don't think you're going to like the Twitch demographic. Yeah, I know. That's why I've been on it. 30 megabytes. Okay. Why do they all have Ford Cortina in broadband? Thank you, Anton. Monkey has become a gorilla. Oh my goodness. I know, Nexus. I saw the first time you published it. You don't have to keep telling me what it means. Don't get enough interest in pay tax. Doesn't even cover my rent. Only income is interest from investment and SASA pension. Not a lot there, Karen. The fourth Boer War versus Benoni versus Brockman. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, well, on a day this week, there was 3 coach loads of folks that checked in and out of a certain location. That can mean so many things, Sean Spence. So many different things. So, anyway. Kick is better. Okay. That's a new face to behold. Olaf, how's it going, man? So, Kick. Kick streaming. Let's see if I got an account there. Yeah, I think I have an account there. I do have an account, or do I? Log in. Oh, Red Storm Rising. Okay. Oh. 6-digit code we sent you. Where'd you send me the code? My email?
Back one. He's really rough.
Where did they send me the account? It's Rumble. Kick. There it is. Okay. 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 I'm into Kick. It's just the gaming. That's all it does. So I don't know why I want to be in Kick. Yep. So some guy's got 18,000 people watching. That's crazy. At this hour, too. Wow. Kick streamers. 64 million people using it. Anyway, well, I have an account on Kick, but it's not my main one. It's one I created, so a little different than the others. Yeah, gamers are a big thing. People ask me to do gaming, but I mean, the games I do don't really draw the crowds. Have you seen on X all the crap these suggestions spreading? Ready to Libby and Sherman Bruce Lewis. Yeah. No, Ready to Libby is just, she was on the Sunnyside Detectives channel, and wow, she was just really spreading it on thick, man. Really, really thick. Yep. Do I have a favorite farm that I visited in South Africa, says Jan? I guess my favorite one is in Northwest Province, because the view where it's at and because the people are really down to earth and I like them. Wonderful, wonderful people. Garrett's place. Yeah. And the black folks speak Tswana and Kimmo Tswana, so I kind of affiliate with that. It's not the most beautiful spot, but it's nice. I got to be honest that most of the trip out to his house is just dirt road going the back way, but coming the front way, it's mostly paved, but lots of potholes. But yeah, it's a lovely spot, and I want to say that I would like a dairy farm in KZN. I was invited to a dairy farm, but not until after these people were going to come, but they actually had to go do an interview somewhere, so they weren't available that day. Arctic is fine. Yeah, well, I'm a strategy kind of guy, so those are the games I like. So. Crypto noob, that's not a helpful question. I ask people not to ask things like that. You give stupid people ideas. Car and beef. Isn't it the place that's got all kinds of problems right now? So 202 likes, that's a little bit better. Learned to drive on a Ford 3-liter Baki. I learned to drive on a Chevrolet pickup truck. 3 on the tree. Clutch, and you got 3 speeds in reverse. Called it 3 on the tree on the steering column. That's where the shifter was. Yep, 3 on the tree. Yep. So I'm looking at going to Mauritius, although the U.S. government just issued a travel ban, not travel ban, but travel advisory for Mauritius because petty crime is spiking there against tourists. But I'm looking at going to Mauritius. So anybody want to join me in Mauritius? It's about $450 round trip from Joburg on FlySaf Air. It's not you, Corey. I'm not on my computer. I'm on my mobile phone. That's why the sound quality isn't as good. Well, I learned to drive on a tractor too, Anita. So, I mean, it's Alice Chalmers and Case Minneapolis Moline tractors back in the day we had on the farm. But the tractors had such tight gear ratios when you popped into first gear, the damn thing would do this. Do I have space in my bag to take it to Mauritius? No. I'm going to be limited to 1 bag probably. Have to leave some things behind. Ford Ranchero. That's a while ago. Hey, Mike, what's going on? How's business at the restaurant? How you doing, man? So, I mean, the next trip, if I get over, it's got to be Nelspruit. It's got to be back to the garden route, which I haven't been to in a long time. Of course, I'll have to go to Joburg, Cape Town, and PE. I don't know if I'll get to Uppington. I did Uppington last time, which was fine. Yeah, so trying to fix countries in democracy, 3 Africa, 4 democracy, or being a rich dictator, Tropico game. Oh, I used to love Tropico, but it just got too easy for me. Tropico was fun. I enjoyed Tropico, but that's the kind of thing I like. SimCity was interesting when it first came out, but it got boring for me. But I like Balance of Power back in the 80s. That was an incredible game. Yeah. Vonderbal Park. You want me to go back to Vonderbal Park? I was there last time, but this time I want to spend a little time enjoying myself, not just rushing through a town, getting out of there. That was, one day to the next and back up. So I'll have to think about that. I haven't been back to Bloemfontein in a while. People ask me to come to Bloemfontein. That's not as high on my list as Nelspruit. Nelspruit is high on my list. Haven't been there a long time. And so, yeah. I do have Discord. But it was just they were censoring people 5-6 years ago, so I haven't done much with it. Yeah, my Discord doesn't have much of anything. Let me see if I Discord. Hang on. Discord. Well, that's right. Let's see if he remembers my password, my username. Please confirm I'm not a robot. Login is invalid. Let me look and see. Discord. Oh, I changed it. That's why. Let's try this. That's the one I want there. I have a pass key or security key. Okay, hang on a second. What? Let me try this. They're asking me for a copy. Unfortunately, I saved these things. What? Why is it not showing up? That's stupid. Copy. Well, that's not going to work. I got to do it manually. So give me a second here. See, I hate these sites. What this? It's not letting me do it. Backup code. There we go. I don't have a pass key. Yeah, let me verify the backup code one time. I gotta wait 3 seconds. This is ridiculous. I mean, I have my password. Why are they freaking making me? Terms of service. Yeah. Okay, so I'm back. Only Yaku Fondaventa is still he's online right now. So I've got Whistler's in here. I've got my Discord has got these people. So why did they make me do that? Okay, and I'm online now. So I'm in Discord right now. I don't even know how Discord works. It's been so long. Okay, all. Okay. So I've got some people here pending. Okay. Online, friends. There's my server. Oh, yeah. Kyle Green's at a July 10th, 2020 wrote to me. 2020. The last message I have in here is, yeah, I wrote back in last year and nobody wrote back to me. So, Discord, not my favorite thing. Anyway, what's my tag on Discord? I don't know. What is my tag? Colonel Chris Wyatt. It says Colonel Chris Wyatt. Is that what you mean? That doesn't like that. Hang on a second there. So, yeah. There are lots of dangerous bills, but that's not going anywhere. Zoom in beard cam. Quids, Colonel Chris Wyatt. Okay. Yeah, Corey, I talked about it on Ronaldo Wednesdays with the Colonel about that bill. So, okay, well, how do I give the Discord link? Let me go find it. So, let me go to my profile. I don't know how to do that. Oh, that's just chat. I'm not. Okay, amp up your profile. Grow up. I don't know how to do this. Add a profile. Okay. Guys, I don't know. I mean, I haven't done this in ages. Somebody want to tell me what I need to do here? What is the Discord link, Napoleon? Where do I find my link? That's why I don't like Discord. It's so it's not user friendly. So, I mean, it's my server. Okay. Create a channel. Don't I have a channel? I mean, I just invite to server. Okay. Copy. Okay, I found this. Does this work? You guys tell me. Utopia, what's happening? My internet upload crapped out in the middle of the live stream earlier, so I spent an hour trying to fix it, didn't get anywhere, and decided to go live on my phone just to tell people what's going on, and that turned into an hour and a half, and it's been hidden. So that's a Discord. Yeah, exactly. Welcome, Shadow Manning. Looks like we Nelsprit are a lot of want to go to USA and already have 5 families Nelsprit already there. Wow. Okay. All right, Napoleon, there you go. So there you go, man. All right, so cool. So now how do I know if you've come over? Anyway. Lynn Erasmus. Wow, that's a long time ago. Anyway, there you go, guys. You got it. So, yeah, no, El Marie, I've talked about going to Petersburg as well. So I want to go to Shishehu and see where the land has been invaded, which is there, Shishehu. Okay. 9 o'clock in the morning. When do you sleep? Sorry, I don't sleep. And when I'm done here, I'm going to be making, hang on a second. Make a note to this so that I remember I use this. Okay. Yeah, no, I don't sleep. I will be recording a video after this when I'm done, so then I'll finally get some sleep, and I'll be up to do the interview, and hopefully my internet's working properly in the morning. All right, let's wrap it up here, though, folks, so I can do that video. Be sure to hit the like button. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for watching me out here. Yep, so many places, so little time. Yep. Oh, I'm not tired. I'm fine. I'm fresh. I'm hungry. That's what I am. I'm getting hangry. Starving here, folks. I was busy working all day. Only got a little bit of a salad earlier. It's time to get something to eat before I go to bed. You guys take care. Thanks for being here, and hit the like button. Thank you so much.